Alright, what's up, y'all? So, this is part 3 of my unpacking of all the cards that I got from MagicCon. As you can see, we have Modern Horizon 2, Brothers of War Collectors, and Commander Masters. Let me preface by saying this is the only Masters pack I own. Why? Because they are so expensive. I got this pack pretty cheap in Chicago. Up here, it's like 20 bucks a pack. I just can't rationalize why I should pay $20 for a pack when I can pay a pack for far less. I mean, I get it; they're premier packs, premier cards, but at the same time, I'm good. So we're gonna open up this one first. Got here. Turn that down a little bit. There you go. Pokemon's Eye, Asbeth Field made search for base clan. Pretty much a tutor card. Why is that? Hold up a second. Sorry about that. I had to fix a few things. This card basically says all players take their hand and their graveyard, shuffle their library, draw new 7 cards. This is a very good card. It can also backfire you completely because your opponents could pull 7 cards they wanted or 7 cards they needed. Who knows? It's definitely a crap shot. This card, one less cast for each, perfect for your 1/1 counter decks. If you got, let's say, 4 cards that have 1/1s on them, this card only costs a green and a white. That's all it needs. And then, whoever, let's say you have those 4 cards on, have all 1/1s on them, creature cards you cast after this card cost 1 less. It's a very good card, actually. Murder of Crows. So you draw a card, discard a card, is when another creature dies. Not bad. And also has flying, which is pretty good. Sandstorm. Choose an opponent. If that opponent has more cards in your hand, draw cards equal to that difference. But for 7 mana, yeah, I don't know about that. That's a tough break sometimes, getting 7 mana. Arcane Signet. Most people know what this is. You take a color that your commander has, you can apply it to this. When your commander you control attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. Basically, if your commander's in play and it's attacking, this card will put a 1/1 counter on that commander. And also, we can have it partnered with somebody else with this card. Planeswalker, green 1/1 elf with that adds green, not bad. Destroy target artifact, not bad. Destroy a card with a green creature. So this is probably more so for a mono green deck. I say that because of your -6. Draw a card for each green creature you control. If you have a mono green deck and they're all green creatures, trigger her -6. You can draw cards. You just have to, you might have to discard some cards if you're unable to use set cards. That's the only downside. Skyline. You become the Monarch, which is a very good ability. If I'm the Monarch, I get a 5/5 red dragon token. Essentially, this card itself, minus the fact that I just paid 7 to play this card. So, that's not bad. Zombie token. Servo, not bad. Crimson Fleet Commander. So, this card goes into play. You become the Monarch, which does help out this card here. You play this card first, you become the Monarch, and then you play this card. You become the Monarch regardless. So, but you play this card first, and then you play this card. You can trigger this ability right away. Campfire so you tap for 1, gain 2 life. You can do this over and over as long as you have the mana to spend. You can just keep gaining life to 2. It might seem like it's tedious, but it can probably save your life. And then you exile this card, put all commanders you want from the command zone and from your graveyard into your hand. Not bad, even though the commanders stay in the command zone, but that's still pretty good. Battle Screech. Create 2 1/1 white birds, not bad. And then tap 3 untapped white creatures. So essentially, what you can do is play this card for this, create your bird create your bird tokens. Then put it in your graveyard because it's done. It's a one-time use. You tap three untapped white creatures you have. It could be these because these tokens count as creatures as well. You tap these two. You tap another white one. You bring this card back. You create 2 more bird tokens. But the problem is you have to exile this card afterwards. Nice little combo, I would say. Considering that tokens do count as creatures. So, scry 2, then draw 2, then lose 2. It's okay for card draw. If you got life to burn, I'd do it. But other than that, yeah, maybe not. Trample and suspend. I would probably recommend doing your suspend. Put 4 time counters on it. At your upkeep, remove a time counter. At the last one, you can cast this card without paying the 7. And you get a 7/5 with trample. That's actually really good. Tap, fall from enters the battlefield. Tap unshattered creature and become monarch. You can essentially tap your opponent's card for this, and then you become the monarch, and then that opponent can't untap his creature as long as you are the monarch. So, if you play it right, this card could be good. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a 1/1. If you're running like a sacrifice deck or something like that, this card would be great. Obviously, because you're putting 1/1s on everything you sack, but again, you have to have a decent sacrifice deck. That's the only downside. For every creature you control, put a 1/1 on him. That's pretty, I would say, very useful. As long as you have creatures on the board. And then gains double strike until the end of turn. Decent, for sure. Double strike is very, very good, depending on who has it. I mean, you could throw it on, you can throw it on him. Guess what? He goes from a 7/7 or 7/5 to a 14/5, and he's trample. Think about that for a second. 14/5 with trample, not bad. Add 1 mana to any color. Each player who controls a permanent draws a card. I would rather play it for your top ability because not everybody will have the bottom ability. So, pretty much mana rock. It's okay. There's better ones out there. And then last but not least, add any 1 mana of your any color. If you control a creature with power 4 or more, get 2. Good mana ramp. I would probably play this late, just for the mana. If you have power 4 or greater, because you get 2 is already better than 1. So think about that. So that's your masters. We are gonna go to Modern Horizons. Sorry for the foiliness. Shattered Ego. Creature gets -3, -0. I would definitely put this. Oh, that's perfect. Put this on an opponent's creature. That gets -3, -0. That's, I don't wonder why they always put -0. 0 isn't a negative number. It's the middle between your negatives and your positives. So why put -0? That's something I don't really understand. Mono Skeleton. Add a 1/1 on it. Remove a 1/1 on it. Deals 1 damage. Pretty decent for a counter deck because you can build this up, take a 1/1 off it, do 1 damage. 4/1. That's a lot of ones. I would probably put this in a counter deck for sure. Sacrifice this card, destroy target artifact or enchantment. There are better artifact and enchantment cards out there, or there's better cards out there that do the same thing. There's better cards out there. So you can run this all you want. I'm not saying you can't, but there's better ones out there. This spell costs 2 less cash for each basic land you cast. So let's say you get 6 basic lands on the field. Guess what? You can cast this card for free because 6 times 2 is 12. Look at that. That's flying too. 4/4. Each creature you control has vigilance if it's blue, hex if it's Vigi if it's white, hex if it's blue, lifelink if it's black, first strike if it's red, and trample if it's green. That's a lot of cards and a lot of colors. So depending on where you put him, guess what? You can make some nasty combos if it has blue or whatever. Flame Tongue, multi-kicker. You pay additional 2 anytime times you want as you cast this card. Add the battlefield for as many 1/1 counters you have, as many 1/1 counter on it for each time it's kicked. So let's say you kick it 4 times. Let's say you paid 4 to kick it. Guess what? You get 2 1/1s on this card. And that's as long as you get the mana. Mana is important. Mana ramp 0/2. 0/2 on a flying. That's kind of weird, but what are you gonna do? Enters the battlefield, you may investigate twice, which is you can create 2 clue tokens, which means you can use 2, sack that, draw a card. So you get card draw. Evoke, you may cast stuff from the evoke cost. If you do, it's sacrificed when it's enters the battlefield. I don't know about evoking, but I would definitely use this. I'm not too sure how you would use evoke. If someone knows how, and they can explain it to me, that's pretty cool. Sacrifice Myrrh 1/1 on somebody. Pretty decent for 1. That's actually pretty good. Discard a card. This card gains lifelink. Gets 1/2 as long as there's 7 or more cards. So this is probably more for your graveyard decks, your sack decks, where if you have 7 or more, he gains 1/2. Now he becomes a 3/3. Discard another card. Guess what? You got lifelink. You have a 3/3 lifelink. So I probably would recommend putting him in a graveyard deck. Bushido. When this creature blocks or becomes blocked, gets a 2/2 at the end of the turn. So if you're making him a blocker, guess what? He's now at 4/4. I'd probably put him somewhere. Mana ramp, blue or black, indestructible. Not many lands are indestructible, but this is definitely one of them. It's so shiny. And the squirrel. Tap. Enchanted creature, scry 2. Doesn't untap. So I would put him on an opponent's creature because it doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So I definitely would put him on one of those. Beginning of your combat on your turn, target creature you control gets 2/0 until the end of turn. So basically, I would put this on my own for obvious reasons because you want that 2/0. Basic land cycling. 2. Affinity from artifacts. Does 5 attempts to target attacking or blocking creature. This could kill somebody if it's 4 or less. As long as its toughness or 4. If its toughness is 4 or less or 5 or less, it's one of the 2. That creature's gone. It doesn't matter if it's blocking or attacking. It still could. If it's that much, you can still get rid of it. And affinity from artifacts, not bad. Squirrel token, flying squirrel. Nothing on the back. Goblin, trampler attacks, flip 3 coins. For each flip you win, create a 1/1 goblin creature. Perfect for your goblin decks because you can attack with him, flip 3 coins. If you hit all 3 of your coins, you get 3 1/1s. And then you can attack again, flip 3 coins. You hit your flips. Guess what? You got 6 1/1 goblins out. And goblins in general are flashy creatures, and they just multiply like crazy. So, very good goblin card. So, on to the Brothers War Collector's Booster Pack, which, as you can see, is actually pretty decent for what I paid for it. Alright, sorry for the shininess, but yeah, that's the way it is. Enchant Artifact, for card draw, not bad. 4/4 toughness. I would put this on a very lesser creature of my own for obvious reasons for power and toughness. Not bad. Blanchwood Prowler. Mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. If you don't, put a 1/1 on the Prowler. Yeah, you have to mill 3 cards. If you pull land card, cool. If you don't, I mean, hell, you can not and still get a 4/4 out of him. That's not nice. This spell can be countered, destroy a target artifact. If mana value is 1 or less, draw a card. So you destroy an artifact. Your 1 or less is like your Soul Ring, your Mana Crypt. That might be it. The ones that off the top of my head, that's the only 2 I can think of for right now. But 1 or less, you draw a card. Door to Nothingness. I saw this in my displays and I thought, who would buy a card like this? And then here's me pulling said card. You need 10 mana, 2 of each color, and tap this card. You sack it, target player loses the game. Having 10 mana is one thing. Having 2 mana of each color is another thing. It's kind of difficult to pull off, but you can win the game essentially. Land to control and land cards in your library and all basic. Yeah, I definitely would choose that. I figured that I'd pick that because all your mana rocks are on basic lands. So, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Power Stone token. You can add 1 colors, but it can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. And then we got Construct. For if you're building an Urza deck, you need a Construct token. You don't need one, but it's useful to have one to build your Construct up. My first Transformer card, Goldbug. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking humans you control. Basically, if you got humans on the board and you have him out, you prevent all combat damage is dealt. That's it. So it's not bad. When you cast your second spell, transform them. Human cards you control can't be countered, which again, these are not Decepticons. Autobots. Autobots protect humans, so naturally it's something that they would do. Swiftfoot. Everybody knows what Swiftfoot boots do. Hexproof and haste. Cast 2, equip 1, so essentially you need 3 mana. Sign of Valor. Gets 1/1 until end of turn for each creature you control, so essentially you can equip this to somebody. If there's a lot of creatures you control, that goes up. So definitely be useful in a counter deck. Scholar of New Horizons. Ends the battlefield with a 1/1 on them. Remove counter from a permanent you control. Search your library for planes and reveal it. It has to be planes, nothing else. If an opponent controls more lands than you, you may put that card onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't put that card in the battlefield, put it in your hand. So it gives you a choice between putting a planes card, tapped on the battlefield or in your hand. It's strictly circumstantial. It depends on what's happening, I would definitely say. Brushwood, tap for a white, tap for a green and white, but it deals 1 damage. And oddly enough, I pulled 2 of them. One's an art card though, or alternate art card. So yeah, don't you just love when that happens. And then foil lands. It's such a troll when they put in foil lands. It's like, yeah, I gave you a nice shiny card, but it's a land card. That's great. Hulking Metamorph for 9. As a copy of an artifact or creature you control, except it's an artifact creature in addition to its other types. For cast 9 for 7/7 and a copy of something else. Or you may cast a spell with different mana costs, which would be 2 blue and 1, or 2 blue and 2, which would be 4, and it keeps its abilities and types for 3/3. I would probably do this depending on what's happening, so I can copy it. Dreams of Steel and Oil for 1 black, sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature from it, and then choose an artifact or creature from the graveyard. You exile both cards. That is very nice, especially if you are facing somebody that you know has nasty cards in their hand. you can just say, all right, I want that card, and I want that card, and get them out of here. That's it. Done. And Dissension. So remember I said earlier how there's better cards out here? This is one of them. Destroy a card, artifact, or enchantment. Boom. Done. So that's it for this video. I have a few more packs to open up and show you guys, but in the meantime, just make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on the videos. It would help, and I'd appreciate it very much. And hope everybody's enjoyed it, and I will see everybody later.